This is the first analysis of the trading plan for May and June of 2017. Like I explained in a different video, I want to finish this first half of the year strong, so I'm making a plan how to do so. I'm gonna trade this. Let me see, remove everything. So I'm gonna trade it. Like I'm gonna analyze it like it's the first time. This is Shopify. Like I said, it's a new, pretty new stock. Was looking for a move in the beginning. It was on the market. So this is a level I want to draw on. Of course, below these levels below, let's just put them on. No, nothing wrong with that. This was the absolute low, around 18.5. This was resistance a couple of times, and then it started acting as a support level. The 38 is an important level. And then of course we see one more thing over here. It's quite an obvious support. This is the weekly chart for those of you who didn't notice. It's the weekly chart. I want to see the bigger picture. The thing I'm gonna put on right from the beginning is the relative strength index. I want to see the strength of this one, because there is, I think, a small thing we should notice, and that is that on a weekly we are seeing this level over here. So let me point it out to you guys. This is on the weekly, of course, for you that know. This is a overbought territory. So looking at this, we are in for a possibly a correction, but there is a big thing to know here. Next week will be earnings. Earnings are strong for Shopify, so I'm willing to take the risk of expecting another move higher. We are also seeing this strong bullish bar on the weekly. That was from the week before, last week, and this was last week, where price fell down, looking to correct in some kind of way, but got rejected right away. And this is a level I want to put on there, and I think we're going to see this level again when we are on the daily chart. Let's see what happens. So, but this is a pin bar. Price moved down and reversed immediately back up. So I think investors are looking for great earnings again next week, and are definitely not shorting this one yet. Another thing I want to get a feeling of is the following. When I use Fibonacci retracements, it gives me a this was the previous low and this is the previous high, so this gives me a feeling of where price is. We are the high is, let me see, 78, and the previous lowest low was 38. So looking at the RSI, there is a chance that this will go into a correction. When we will move into a correction, we could go back to 46 max, and this is the 68 point. So 50 is another important level. 52 to watch is the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement. So let's zoom in. Let's see what those lines mean. Let's see how many supports we need to take out before we get into a correction. But it is possible that we will see a move higher based on the earnings, and then we are in for a correction. That is a possible scenario. So this is something I need to be watching. So let's start right off with this. I know for a fact that this will be a swing trade, but let's see later. On the weekly, what are we seeing here? We are seeing on the weekly that the RSI is overbought. That is something we need to be careful with. Next. So I'm gonna take this one off. There is just to give you guys a feeling that if this one falls back to you know, maybe 40, then we are in for a move like 30 points. So this is something we need to manage we need to manage our risk over there closely. Daily chart. There we are. This one is indeed a obvious level. Price came back, held over there, and then started moving again. This is a interesting level indeed. Price bounced off of here. That's what we want to see. This is another level that held, where price held. I want to put it a little bit higher like this. And then of course we have one more level around here that is previous resistance, later on support. So we start to get a more and clearer picture of the move. Something else we are seeing, which is not really supporting our theory of going long on this one, is the following. We are seeing divergence on the RSI on a daily chart, which means that we are seeing a high, and after that we were seeing more highs, but price was already going down. Actually, price momentum is going down. So this is another thing we should be aware of. This is not really good, but it's no problem. So maybe we trade the pullback, and then we can go long again. So let's see what happens. That's for Shopify on the daily chart. I want to get in some Bollinger Bands, and I want to lay over that a moving average. It's just because it's a different color, because of course there is a moving average within the Bollinger Bands. Oh, it's already in. Okay, so we are seeing that price is actually touching that moving average time and time again. That's the reason price bounced off of here as well. Now, as we can see, when we draw in a trend line, we can see that this is why I've been trading this all year. We see a move, it pulls back to a trend line or a moving average, so we get in. We see a move, it pulls back to a trend line, moving average. We see a move, we get out, we get in, we get out, we get in. I had just entered last Friday or Thursday. Thursday, obviously. I had some pending orders, and I went in around that area where price touched the moving average and is now taken off again. So that's interesting. Let's switch to the 4-hour chart. Let's see what we see over here. Even more clear patterns, nice swings. This is great. On the 4-hour we do not see the divergence really. So, but we know it from the daily chart. So be careful on the bigger time frames. This looks like another push to the previous high, which, oh, this is a trend line, sorry. Horizontal line put over here. This is an important resistance. Price came to this point, 78, and then fell down and moved into this correction immediately. And now we need to see, of course, a retest of this trend line and potentially a break, or we need to see we don't need to see anything, but if we see a bounce of this trend line, then this could be a double top and price could move lower. So if price bounces, we could see a move lower. Of course, we could see another test of the trend line, or maybe a correction further, and we should watch these levels over here. The way I am thinking the trade is, I don't know if you remember in the previous video, but I want to make 5k out of the Shopify trade. I got a feeling that this one has some more long potential, and I'm gonna trade it. I just entered around here, and I'm gonna trade it all the way back up there. The way I look at this, which is interesting, and we switch the screen. This is a tool I use on the markets, one of the markets traders. I want to trade Shopify. I want to go in with 2 lots, and the price I want to buy, of course, it's a buy limit. I'm already in it, but to show you what I did, it was 72. Now I think this has the potential to move back up to the 78 it was previously, and I am expecting a break. So let's say that around a round number 80 price is likely to reverse or you know, pull back. There's something going on at that area. And of course my stop loss was below, I think it was below 70. So this is my risk, this is my reward, this is how I put in these trends. This is based on the previous low, and this is based on the previous high with some with the possibility of a break of the previous high. So this is a nice swing trade setup. This is what I could be making. This would be nice to see filled within the next week. So that means in the first week of May I will be seeing 1400 and something euros. So that means I will have a 35 to go. So maybe I will catch that in a correction, in a reversal, or I will catch that in a continuation of the move up. So that being said, this is the way I sometimes look at these kinds of the way I look for how much to make and how much to risk in based on my technical analysis. So I have my first position in here from that's a 2-point lot from the 72, and I also got one in from 1.5 lot on the 72.5. So when these two will close out around the around 80, I'll be up 2,000 and something. So that's the first part of the trade within the next 2 months in Shopify. I think this is a great setup. We did the analysis. It's very important to notice that we are seeing some movement on the RSI, on the bigger time frames. Looking at the weekly, we see overbought, and then when we see the daily, we see oversold. So this first 2,000 or something I'm thinking to make in this first move could be followed up shortly after that with a move lower for a possibly a correction. Of course, when we would see a correction, corrections are just like this. Will we break this low? If it doesn't, then a continuation will be there. Then if it breaks, there is another support line over here, which should be broken if we are thinking this will continue. This is a level, resistance, support, which could be a certain level, and then this one of course as well. And if we think we will see a move all the way down here, that is the 78 point something Fibonacci retracement. I think we would see there's an earlier level, I think it was around 52, where the 61.8 Fibonacci retracement is at. So let's see what happens, and interesting to watch this one. I want to show you guys one more thing, that is investing.com. I use that website a lot. Let me show you how I use that for these kinds of setups. Now this is how it works. This is investing.com. My name is Chris, by the way, for those of you who don't know. In this case, Shopify. I look for Shopify, and we see it on the US stock market over here. Let's go to the Shopify page. This is everything there is to know about Shopify. Analysis, everything, technical analysis. There's a lot of interesting data to find on this chart. Also, they give information on to buy or whatever the technical indicators are doing. Not really a thing I use. The thing I use is, of course, looking at the financials. I want to see when will earnings be coming. The next earning report will be in at May the 2nd, if I'm correct. That would be around Tuesday next week. Is that correct? Yes, that's Tuesday next week. So, of course, when earnings come in, there is a great move expected in these kinds of stocks. So earnings is very important. And another thing which is interesting, this is Shopify. I just made an analysis. As you can see, if price pulls back again around, for example, the 73, I want to be noticed. So a move below the 70 73. Well, let's say 73.2 will catch my attention. Why? Because that would be a nice place for me to re-enter, or it could be a nice well, maybe I should get out of this trade if this actually happens. So if this is the alert I want to be setting, I say create, and now I will be notified on my app on my iPhone. So that's to me that's a great thing, because not all these alerts work the same way. Of course, TradingView has a way to set alerts. I always use investing.com to set my alerts because they push it on my phone right away. Another thing that's interesting to do here is earnings. I already have that one, of course, but I get a notification when earnings will be coming. So create, yes, I already have that one, but you know, now I set 2 alarms. So within the 3 months I will get a new alarm that there will be earnings coming in, and I just set an alarm where I think I want to be entering this trade. Okay, last but not least, we were starting to fill this this sheet of information why we are willing to take this trade. We see RSI is overbought on the weekly. On the daily we see that there is divergence on the RSI. So that's we need to know those things. Then third, we are seeing a uptrend, of course. Price bounces off the moving average, and of course we see a trend line bounce as well. Then we see the market, well, it is trending, so let's put that over here. We are seeing higher highs and lower lows. Oh, higher lows, of course, sorry. Higher highs, higher lows. So our setup would be to enter on the trend line, moving average, bounce, stop at the previous low, target just past the previous high, and I'm gonna put this one in as well. Be ready for a correction that could be with a sell stop on the previous low. So this is a swing trade, just like I pointed out. Very clear entry and exit signals, if you ask me. This is the first one. Very exciting. Let's start off this project. Will be I think it will be amazing.